This is one of our worst auction buys, but it's not our fault. I've been in this car business for 23.5 years, and I promise you I've seen a lot of stuff, and we're gonna make mistakes. Mistakes are fine, but when the auction house is truly scamming you, this is not a mistake, this is fraud. And one other crazy thing about this car is there was a bullet hole on the inside that I'll show you a little later in the video, which is absolutely crazy. Speaking of a little bit later in the video, we actually have a video sponsor for this, and it's rightlook.com. They're one of the best detailing companies out there, but we're gonna talk about them more later in the video because I wanna show you what I bought from them, and it's absolutely amazing. Let's first start out with saying that in this day and age, in 2023, buying cars in person, driving to auctions, flying to auctions, that's dead. If you're doing that, you are way behind the curve of this industry. And one thing that I've really enjoyed in my career of 23 years in this business is being ahead of the curve. So we have to buy cars online because we can do it more efficiently. But what needs to be done efficiently is the condition reports. And that's where this auction absolutely screwed us over. I want to hop on the computer with you real quick and show you exactly what we're looking at when we're buying cars. So this particular auction house shared 7 photos with the car, and they gave this a very good high condition report. And these are the photos, right? Here's what we had to look at when buying this car. You would say with 57,000 miles on a 2019 vehicle that it is in good condition, that there's nothing crazy going on. Now, down here at the bottom, there's always a condition report. We're going to talk about why it says no condition report here in a second. But you can see it says no condition report. There was a condition report on this particular one. Same way with right here. It did say condition report. There was a green check. And then this right here is extremely important to know because this right here is showing that this is a green light car. And what this means is that it's a ride and drive car. There's announcements on the car, it's as is, title absent, with drivetrain only, right? So that's what the light system means for this particular auction house. So now that I've showed you that part right there, let's walk outside because I want to show you all the damage on this vehicle. So again, you got to remember that everything is fixable, right? There's nothing on this car that isn't fixable, but the biggest issue is we buy off of condition reports so that we know what we need to fix, how much money we're going to have to spend, and then also so that we buy the vehicle in the right condition or the right dollar amount so that we can fix those stuff. Headlight says moisture right here. There's a dot up here and a dot down here, and there's moisture right there. So don't know where it's cracked at, but it's cracked somewhere that is getting moisture. There's a mark right here, and they obviously know it with right here. So why would they not take a picture of this and put it on the condition report? And I can tell you that they're absolutely lazy and they don't care about anything but themselves and to line their pocketbooks with money. Absolutely, that's the only reason. But let's go around this car a little bit more. I haven't looked into this much, but it goes down. This is misaligned right here, and then this bumper has been painted up here. And then we walk around here, we have misaligned right here. I'm hoping this just pushes back in, and then you can see that they wrote on here with their paint pen. We have some rust starting right here. Not a big deal. That can be fixed. It's very simple. But this right here, this is a very expensive mirror. It's broke all the way through, can't be fixed. We're gonna have to get a brand new mirror, and they didn't disclose that either. And again, that's something that they could have put a picture on. And the very first thing that I saw in this vehicle was this right here. Now I put these white things in here, but this was ripped out. You can see the marking down here. They put their pen around it. So when they did this, somebody did this. Was it the dealer who sold it, or was it the auction? If it was the dealer who sold it, this gives the auction a very easy workflow in order to go around this car and point out the condition report. If it was the auction, shame on them. So this back here is pretty beat up, all of this white, and then we have this missing down here, and then we also have this up here beat up. That can be fixed, not a big deal, but that's a couple $100 to fix. And then we come in here, and I see that, but hold on. We'll come back to that here in a second. I come down here and I see broken glass. A little bit of glass over here, but mainly it's right there. I was like, huh, look up here. Oh, PGW, tinted glass. This is aftermarket glass. So let's go to this right here. I'm seriously thinking, like, how did that hole get in there? That's really, really weird. So I continue looking around, and then I see this hole. I'm like, what is that? Oh my God. Do you know what that is? Yes, that, my friends, is a bullet hole. And if you follow my shorts channel or my TikTok or my Instagram, which all the links are down below, you're already gonna know that we talked about this on those channels and those platforms. But yeah, that 100% was a bullet hole that went through there and then somehow went through the glass, shattered the glass. I would like to know the story on this car now. Who got shot in this? So a little bit of dirty inside. We should be able to fix this up with no problem. It's really dirty in here. Just wasn't really well taken care of up here with cleanliness in here. I don't think I mentioned this, but this light right here, it articulates. It goes up, it goes sideways. It just does all sorts of crazy gadget things. This light right here, $1,500. Yes, $1,500 for a light like this. That was my price looking it up. When I called this store, because I needed to get the part number so I could order it from them, $1,600 list price on this bad boy. Ouch. So come with me down to the detail shop, because the next step process that we have to do in this is going to have to arbitrate the car. So the green light that this vehicle is, remember the light system I showed you earlier in the video? That basically tells us that we can arbitrate or we can't arbitrate the vehicle. So this being a green light car allows us to arbitrate the vehicle because they're saying there's nothing wrong with the car. If there is something wrong with the car, they disclose it in the condition report. So this one had no issues in the condition report. So therefore, the light, the headrest, the fender, all of this stuff is arbitratable under what's called 𝑁AAA policy. And this is a really big policy that all the auction houses abide by. And this particular auction house does abide by it because it is on their website. This is the first time that we use this auction. I now have to call up the auction and say, how do we arbitrate this? Because I've never dealt with this auction, and the arbitration policy at all auctions are just a little bit different. I wanted to come down to the detail shop because I wanted to give you guys a huge update on our mobile detailing part of our business. Now, you guys know I bought this van well over 7 months ago, and for 9 months, I have been researching how to upfit this van. And let me tell you, it's not easy, but I'm really excited to let you guys know that we do have it officially upfitted. And thanks to rightlook.com, this thing looks absolutely amazing. Now, with all of my research, I kept coming back to rightlook.com. They've been in the business for 25 years of helping entrepreneurs do better in their business and also starting in this business. They do everything. Obviously, detail skids, their online configurator, absolutely amazing. And this detail skid is available for every single budget. It fits in vans like you see here. If you want to put it in the bed of a truck, on a trailer, SUVs, whatever the case may be, they've got the configurator set up so you can do it. Not only do they do detail skids, but they also offer top quality certifications trainings on auto detailing, paint protection film, vehicle color change wraps, window tinting, and most importantly, as I'm finding out, marketing your automotive reconditioning business. It is so important to have the right strategy to get your customers. And this is why I chose to work with rightlook.com. Not to mention they're compliant with every state out there. So if you need an electric generator, they've got it. This is a super quiet gas generator. So check them out if you're in the restyling business, you want to start a restyling company. Absolutely amazing company, and I appreciate them sponsoring this video. So now we get to make the lovely phone call to the auction to find out how we can arbitrate this, because as I said earlier, you know, we buy these vehicles based off of their condition report, and if something's wrong, we have more recon into the vehicle than we anticipated. That hurts us for reselling it for a profit. Not scared of recon. We'll do that all day long. So I call the manager, and he pretty much dismisses me right away. I was really shocked by this. It was something to the effect that we're not going to arbitrate that or whatever. And so now I pull out the 𝑁AAA policy. And I'm like, well, per 𝑁AAA policy, page this, paragraph this, line this is 100% arbitratable. And he verbatim says, I don't care what their policy is, I make the rules here. I was shocked. I was absolutely 100% shocked about this, because this was just absolutely flabbergasting. Because why have a policy if you're not gonna do it and then tell people, no, I make the rules. So at this point, I'm up walking around talking on my cell phone. Mrs. Chevy Dude can hear the conversation because I have it on speaker, and I come back around to get on my computer because I'm gonna pull up the condition report now. You know, I looked at it before I made the phone call because I wanna have all my ducks in a row. I don't wanna call and then look like an idiot, like, nope, talked about the light, nope, talked about the headrest. I just don't want to have that happen. I go back and the condition reports are gone. And I'm like, well, wait a second. I talk to him on the phone. The condition reports aren't there. I can see them on my end. I said, good, you can see that there's nothing listed on here. Front bumper, front fender, the bullet hole, and the headrest. And he says, yeah, there's nothing on here. I said, excellent. I'm glad you agree with me that there's nothing on here. We need to arbitrate this. He just tells me no, not gonna arbitrate it, and then hangs up on me. So to say I was a little mad is an understatement, because I just wanna be treated fairly. I treat everyone fair. I expect to be treated fair in return. And the reason we have these policies, so everyone can be treated fair. And I was absolutely flabbergasted. So I made the TikTok, put it up on social media, got really, really big views, and lo and behold, the auction calls me. They're not here to help. They could care less. They just want me to take the video down. I'm like, no, we're not taking the video down at all. We start getting phone calls and emails from other dealerships, talking about this auction, of how people are suing them, that this has happened to them, they don't care, all this stuff. And I'm like flabbergasted. I'm like, really? Like, people outside of the auction are supporting me. Other dealers are like, dude, never do business with them. They're shisty, they're shady, they don't care, multiple lawsuits. I'm like, wow, tell me all sorts of things that they do at this auction. And I'm like absolutely flabbergasted. So I go ahead and I actually email the general manager of this auction. And in a nutshell, I email this general manager basically stating everything that I've told you, and that the condition report is now all of a sudden gone. The word moisture was written on the light, blah, 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 blah. Said, hey, what can you do for me? He offers me back $1,000 and tells me that the NCAA rule does not cover cosmetic damages. I'm like, the hell it doesn't. It's right in the rules. You guys have a CR. You guys did not do it right. You fabricated it. You lied. You had incompetent people doing it. Something happened to this CR. So he offered me $1,000. And because when there's a CR of a 3.5, this CR was done wrong. This CR is not something that someone makes up. This is a computer algorithm that they push this, push that, push this, and that computer then pushes out what the CR is. So if you don't say broken headlight, hole in headrest, you know, bad wheels, bad tires, whatever the case may be, the algorithm doesn't know to score that vehicle lower. So if you forget stuff or simply just don't do it, then the algorithm is gonna push that much higher for a CR. And we buy based off of 3.5 and above CR. So he offers me the $1,000, told him he can take a hike on that. I can't even fix this car for $1,000. The headlight alone is $1,500. The mirror is $200. Who knows how much everything else is gonna cost, the bumper, everything else. And so eventually, long story short, he gives me $1,800 back, which is still nowhere near the cost of repair of this vehicle, which now means that I've got to figure out what to do with this vehicle. So I had Rich, our mechanic, look at it, inspect it more, and we started digging deep dive into this vehicle. And this vehicle's been hit. I found a police report on it, not on Carfax, but found a police report on it that this car had been stolen. It was a prior rental car, which prior rental car is not a big deal, but it was a stolen rental car in Chicago, which explains a lot with the bullet hole, because that bullet hole came through the front of the headrest and exited the back, which is why you see the two different sizes of holes, entry and exit. So this vehicle definitely has a wild story and just things that are not adding up. And through the inspection process, we actually find the passenger light is not the proper light as well. So what do I do this thing? I've got to get rid of it at auction. And after that's all said and done, we finally sell it for $500 under our true cost. So after the $1,800 that they gave us, and we're selling it with the fees and stuff like that, we only lost $500, thank goodness. But I wanted to check something. The email from the general manager says that he is going to address the CR condition report with his CR team. And I really want to know if they've done that, because this all happened back earlier in 2023. So it's been several months now. And I want to see if they've done any changes. And when I logged in here, I was really excited to see that this vehicle's got a 3.2, and I come down here and they've got some pictures of damages down here. And one of the other things that I saw was they had some heat maps here for damages. This was something that was not done on our vehicle. But then I start coming down and I see no CR, no CR. Here's a CR in a 21, no CR in a 2018, no CR in a 19. So it doesn't look like they've changed their ways at all. And I've learned a very valuable lesson here that anything that's an independent auto auction, just simply you've got to go to and look at in person, that I can't take in their condition reports with any type of credibility. And it's just sad because I'd like to help out the independent auctions more than these big franchise auctions. But until then, until they can change their ways, we're just gonna have to buy from the big houses. And most importantly, buy from our local people where we get most of our cars from.